So just what is courage? I mean, is it something, a quality we only see in other people and never ourselves? Well, with me now in the studio is Len Harrison, who 40 years ago was the first person to receive the George Cross. And I've got it here, along with so many other medals, Len. And let's just take a look at it. Must be very precious to you.
Oh, yes, it is.
And yet, when I phoned you yesterday and said, don't forget to bring it with you, you said, I'm not going to wear it. Why was that?
Oh, I don't know. No real reason. You merely wanted to see a medal.
But you don't wear it very much?
No, only on high days, I suppose, and holidays, you know, those sort of... When we have meetings, or at least conferences, or we attend functions, then is the time that one puts one's medals on.
Well, let's give it to your safekeeping. If you put it down there. Now, it was 40 years ago. You must have told your story hundreds of times.
Well, this was quite fortuitous on my part, in that I was an instructor at an armament training school, and I had the opportunity to study an enemy fuse, a bomb fuse, which had been recovered from the Spanish campaign in 1936. Mm. And this probably led to what knowledge we had at that time on the German fusing system or bomb system. And when the call came on in February of 1940 that a bomb had been brought into Immingham docks on the SS Kildare, I suppose it was natural that the school authorities, the OC of the school, were merely said, on your way. And on your way it was.
Now, how big was that bomb?
That was a 250 kilogram bomb.
Crumbs.
It was lodged, it's only about 500 pounds, but it was lodged in the afterwell deck of the Kildare, which had already had one bomb go off in its hold.
Now, am I right? You told me it was the first unexploded German bomb?
That was the first unexploded German bomb dealt with in England.
Now, what were your thoughts? Can you remember them as you went up to that bomb?
Well, I felt I knew enough about the fusing system, at any rate, to give me some idea of what ought to be done. There were, of course, two of us involved in this. There was John Dowland,
who also got a GC.
Who, yes, he was a flight lieutenant in the school at the time. And we were shown this particular missile. There is very little time to think before you go on to a thing like this, really. I mean, it's a matter of commitment.
I'd have thought you had all the time in the world, because there it is. You know it's got to go off, or you've got to defuse it. You stand back and you've actually got to go towards it.
That probably is the worst time for any of them, walking up towards a missile. We like the big ones better than the small ones, because if they go off, we know nothing at all about it, really. The small ones, of course, they can go off and they can really hurt you. Mm. I think this is the difference between how you tackle these things.
But were you frightened when you did it?
Not really. As I say, we were right when you were actually doing the job. You're stuck right beside the thing, and as I say, if it goes off, you don't know a thing about it. Or at least I doubt if you would.